All right, it's Thursday, September 14th. This is an end of the day SPY recap, and today we end up with a two up green bar that kind of moved to a few targets up above. We had the actionable signal from yesterday with the two down that closed green, so we were kind of anticipating a potential move up, and then the pre-market range set us up for a move higher, and I shot a pre-open video just describing my bias to the upside, and today we started the breakout. We've been following this weekly chart all week, and from last week, it's an inside week last week, and we started very narrow this week, but we knew if we kind of went above the yellow line here, which was the open, and we were very narrow coming into today, that there's a chance that we can start kind of an explosive move out of here that would at least take out one of these highs here and then see if we continue up higher or fail, once we hit the top of or bottom of that inside bar from last week. And right now, right at the end of the day, we did hit the top. We have a two up week, an inside bar up week that at least projects up here tomorrow. We'll find out if that happens. At this point, the only way you can get a failure for tomorrow is because we are expecting it now to continue higher and maybe reach this target. That's the inside bar target on the weekly chart. If we come down through the halfway point to this bar, it might start out tomorrow and gap down. It might start up above this high and then come to the halfway point. That would be the failure for tomorrow, but we are anticipating higher. Also, if we don't get that exact failure, then next week we have a pretty good let's say we do go up on Friday, but can't take out this target, then into next week we have kind of a failure would be the midpoint of this bar, which is now this yellow line. So it's kind of this open of the week is going to be our key line now to decide in the bigger picture if we continue up towards some higher targets or if we fail this inside bar breakout to the upside and start lower. Once we come back to that range, we'll expect to go to the bottom of that range if that should happen. The monthly chart, we've talked about this, even though we had the hammer bar from last month, we started down at the beginning of this month, but we're kind of grinding our way up. So we'll see if some of these upside triggers can turn this month green and maybe start a two up month that projects up there into September. Many people don't think we're going to head higher, but in price action leads the way. That's kind of what's unfolding, but we will look for it. So we have that, the big picture. We still have the potential to go up. We still have time in the month, and on this weekly chart, we kind of know, where it fails. Now it definitely can fail on an inside bar, but for now, with this green bar, inside bar taken out, target up here, we're going to be biased that way until proven otherwise. And on the daily chart, same thing until we get at least below the midpoint of yesterday or today, then we're going to be biased to the upside. So in terms of today's structure, to conclude, like I discussed, had a bias to the upside. You can see here the market had a classic red to green move to get us there. There were two ways to kind of get in on this trade. First of all, even though we started down here to start, we didn't take out the, if you really would have wanted to play an aggressive failure bar, you would have wanted to see kind of the pre-market highs being taken out first. And that at least would have shown you taking out some stops, maybe failing, maybe we're coming all the way back down, but you're still way above the midpoint of the prior day. So in my trading, I'm always biased to the upside in those conditions, and I'm looking for this red to green move. And it's best when you don't take out that high to start, because then, you're probably heading up there. So anyway, eventually after bar 4, we had the red to green move. There's your buy in terms of just, above the midpoint of the prior day. Still have targets up here, pre-market range, other targets we talked about. So there's your move. If you didn't even catch that, again, no reason to go short because you're below the midpoint, above the midpoint of the prior day, and you didn't take out any key stops to fail. Then once you broke through that first bar high up here, here was your first pullback, and this could have been a good buy. And essentially you got up, in one push, two pushes. It was a nice directional day to the upside. So good trading today to the upside in the SPY. Kind of anticipated that given how the pre-market range was unfolding and the tightness of what was developing here on the daily chart. And now we see if this inside bar from last week, which is technically in force, kind of moves up to our next target to end the week. And if we do end up green, then you're anticipating a little higher into next week as well. And that's where some of those monthly targets come into play. So we will see what happens tomorrow, but a good day to the upside today in the SPY.